Hi, I'm Alex from Real Estate. Check out our interview on CreativeDisc.com, the number one music website in Indonesia.
So let's start the interview right now. Okay, so
Great.
tell us your band activity during pandemic.
Well, let's see. I've been doing a lot of surfing, actually, and I've been just trying to, do as much as I can outdoors, stay sane, stay safe. I've been making music at home and making music with real estate remotely, kind of sending things back and forth over email, making music that way. Doing a lot of cooking. I don't know, just spending a lot more time at home than I have in the past decade or so. It's yep.
So do you have any new hobbies? Maybe listening new music, or maybe finishing a lot of book during pandemic. Maybe like
I
in a
have
staying
been
home.
reading. Yeah, I
Oh,
have been reading a lot more than I ever did before, which is kind of a silver lining, and also experimenting with cooking new meals.
no. What kind of book and meal do you discover?
um, I just finished a book. It was popular here in the States a few years ago called Barbarian Days, which is a sort of a surfing memoir.
Ah,
I've been reading some short stories by a woman named Flannery O'Connor, and I actually just last night I started a book by the lead singer of the band Franz Ferdinand, but it's all about food that he ate while he was on tour. So it's kind of
wow.
about food and touring. So those are just a few of the things. Oh, I read Ernest Hemingway, The Sun
Oh,
Also
wow.
Rises. Yeah.
I will check the Franz Ferdinand book. I think it's interesting because they are already coming in Jakarta too in the past Franz Ferdinand.
Oh, they've been there before. Yeah, I would love to
Yes.
come and play there. We've never been, and I really would like to come.
You should come here because we know in Indonesia we've got so many food choices.
Yeah, I would love to come and eat my way through the entire country, actually.
So you will release your new EP called Half a Human. Tell us the process when you are making it.
A lot of it was recorded, sort of like the very basic skeleton of it was recorded when we were making our last album, The Main Thing. But then it became a project for us to finish up during the pandemic because we couldn't tour. And we realized that we had sort of the bones of it, like the skeleton, but we could uh, sort of from far away finish it out, fill it out. And Martin, the singer, went into the studio for a couple of days and did some new vocals and things like that. Um, so yeah, it just it was something that they were songs that weren't quite ready when we were recording them the first time around, and then we had this time at home to refine the music and make it better, and we're really proud of it.
So speaking about one of the track already released called Half a Human, I
Yeah,
think the lyrics and the music seems more moodier and somber rather than your past release. Is it right?
I think so. I mean, I think people like to think of us as a kind of like bright, sunshiny band, which obviously we have some bright sunshine in us, but there are definitely some darker moods and themes that are explored sometimes, and this song is one of them for sure. Yeah, that's right on.
So is the lyrics tell about this pandemic time and loneliness during this strange time? Because it resonates with this pandemic time, I think.
Yeah, they were actually written before the pandemic time, but
Oh,
they really resonate. It strangely, it was kind of about being traveling and being on tour and kind of being in America at least. I've never been to Indonesia, but a lot of a lot of parts of it outside of cities and stuff looks very similar. Like same stretch of highway, same stores, and it's kind of this feeling of, there's a line, I could be anywhere. And it's sort of like all, it's feeling sort of lost in time and lonely. And then that did really occur to us that it resonates so much with what's been happening this past year that it just made sense to put it out now.
wow, like it's kind of some prophecy maybe.
I know it's weird, huh?
So there's interesting part in the song when the half part of the song only play moody instrumental. Is it
hmm
any reason behind that?
I think that came out of how we played this song live at our concerts for like a year or so before we even tried to record it, and it really became a song that we like to sort of jam on and explore and kind of like stretch out and improvise. And so we've been doing that live before we even started to record it. And I think we were just trying to capture that kind of energy. And it is actually like a live jam in the studio, what you're hearing, you know.
So, because because when I hear the instrumental part, it's like a different from your track, like as you say, a bright and a cheerful song, and when I hear real estate, half a human, like wow, this is different.
Yeah, I think we were trying to be different, like I feel like we've really explored that sort of bright, sunny feeling a lot over the past. We've been a band for like more than 10 years now. So I think it's important for us to kind of like, we're never going to lose that, but it's also interesting for us to kind of explore and mine some other territory.
Mm, yes, because I'm such a big fan of real estate, since it's like the album and the anthem. It's like my senior high school anthem. Like,
Oh wow,
thank you for the
amazing.
music.
Oh man, I'm so glad to hear that. That's really nice.
So tell us your favorite album that influenced you the most.
Favorite album that influenced me the most ever? I mean,
Yes.
it's really hard to pick just one, but I think an important album is kind of a cliche, but I remember the first time I heard Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd.
Ooh.
I think I was 12 or 13, and it kind of just like cracked my brain open, and like, it just introduced me to a whole new spectrum of sound and depth and rock music. And I know it's a big one for a lot of people, but I hadn't thought about that at all, but just off the top of my head, that comes to one. That's one that comes to mind as something that sort of like changed the course of how I thought about music at a very young age.
Yes, yes, because Dark Side of the Moon is like an epic album.
Yeah, for sure.
So in one of your interview, you said that you love Haruomi Hosono and Yellow Magic Orchestra. I just dig it. So where do you find this music, and what do you think about that? Because I'm such a big fan of Yellow Magic Orchestra too, and
Yeah,
Haruomi Hosono works.
yeah, of course. I love Hosono and a lot of his solo work and everything with YMO, and I really like the sort of travel albums, the Pacific and the GNC, and
Yes.
um, I don't know how. I think the internet is the short answer to that question. I think Hosono is becoming more popular in the States, as well as like a lot of other city pop and Japanese music that he produced and was sort of involved in. So I think it must be because some labels over here started reissuing his music, and a lot of big music fans over here have really been diving in. So it's been kind of like in our cultural zeitgeist lately, and it's great music. It's great music. It's hard to deny. You kind of latch onto it when you hear it. It's popular internationally for a reason.
So what kind of Haruomi Hosono music that you like the most? Like why you like it? Because the breezy sound, or maybe the exotic sounds?
I think that the production is amazing, yeah, and the arrangements are incredible, and it's just like sometimes the electronic, kind of more experimental side of things is just really interesting, but then I really like how he explores so much different territory, you know. I would love to. That's kind of like we were saying with real estate, like finding other sounds, because he's got, like from his self-titled record is kind of like a country folk record, and then the YMO stuff kind of sounds like a video game sometimes, but some of it is more poppy. I like how he explores all kinds of territory, and more often than not, it's really good. And he's not afraid to experiment.
Yes, yes. So is Haruomi Hosono music really influence your music nowadays, especially
I
in real
think
estate?
so. It's something we talk about a lot in terms of like a gold standard for production. You know, there's a song called well, you haven't heard it yet because the album's not out yet, but it will be soon, and the song is called Soon. And
Mhm.
I would say that there's definitely a Hosono influence on that one, and others for sure.
So do you really listen to Japanese city pop nowadays, like recently, or maybe like Haruomi Hosono things?
I've been listening to more Japanese pop lately. I'd say in the past 3 years. It's become sort of, it's getting more popular over here, and so I've been more exposed to it. Hiroshi Sato is another one that springs to
Ooh.
mind as we talk about. I just like, I think there's something about the clean and pristine style of production that is like mind blowing, that really appeals. And maybe something about getting older, because I probably when I was younger I would think it was like cheesy sounding or something like that, but now that I'm older I'm just like, Yes, that's it. That's exactly what I want to hear.
Wow, so you maybe try 80 Otaki, right? A long vacation. Is it a great city pop album? It's like when you mix pet sounds, the Beach Boys into the wall of sounds. Like whoa.
Okay. Well,
You maybe should try 80 Otaki.
It's called a long vacation.
A long vacation. Is it on Spotify right now?
I'm gonna put it on right after this interview.
Okay, so talking about growing older, right? From the day that you started your band with your friend as a Weezer fans, and now you've influenced many indie pop band. Looking back, when you first started real estate, do you expecting things gonna be like this?
I mean, I think it was like a dream, like our wildest dream, and it feels like a dream come true. It's amazing. It's really gone further and longer than I ever imagined that it could have. So when I hear people like you say like, oh, that was my anthem my senior year of high school or something like that, like that kind of makes me think about what my anthem was my senior year of high school, or and I'm just, all of us in real estate, we're just big music fans. So anyone who's a fan or who's influenced by us, we're like, it's exactly like that. It's the same kind of thing, and it feels great to hear you say that.
So I think real estate music are evolving from happy slice of life tune to more deep theme about growing up and older. Do you have any thought about this?
I think that's true. I think, as with anything, we sort of like, we're trying to grow it a little deeper. There's a little more depth of emotion that comes through in the songwriting, partially just because we've been doing it for so long. And we are, we started writing the real estate songs when we were like 23, and now we're like in our mid 30s. So, it's kind of a natural evolution. Yeah.
Yes, it's kind of natural to growing up with your fans too, right?
Yeah, totally.
So mention 5 things we didn't know about real estate.
Oh, I have 5 things you didn't know. Okay, 1, it's named because Martin was going to real estate school when we started the band, and we thought maybe we would be real estate agents, and then have a band on the side. Another thing is we had our very first tour van that we ever bought and toured in we named it Reality. It was a big red van.
Ooh.
The third thing is, let's see, Martin, Julian, and I have all known each other since high school, and we played in a band together in high school. I'm trying to rattle them off here. Fourth thing, we've never been to Indonesia, but we want to come really badly. And the fifth thing is my favorite hobby is surfing. So that's another reason I really want to go to Indonesia, because I think there's some really good waves there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
There's so many oceans in Indonesia. You should try.
Yeah.
So the last question, what we can expect from this new EP?
I think you can expect a really there's a lot to dig into on this EP. I think for some people it might be your favorite real estate album. It's up there for me. It might be mine, one of mine at least. We're really proud of it. So you can expect some great music.
Is it like new evolution from real estate that you state in this EP?
Yeah, I think it points at a new direction for sure.